Greetings, greetings, greetings. Hey, Carrie, what a nice surprise. Hello. Greetings. So we are just popping at the top of the hour. So we'll give people a moment to join. And I'll fix my laptop again because I can never seem to get my laptop right. So I have YouTube and Instagram going. Oh, I am a technological mess. It's just a fact. Hello, Alice. Hello from the future. As folks are joining on YouTube, feel free to say hello. I'll know you're here when I see you pop in. Carolyn, I see you popping in the chat. Instagram, I can see when you join. But yeah, so if you are on Cecilia, hola, buenas tardes. Kathy, hey, hey, hey. Hello, hello. Wow. It feels like a long time since we've done this. This is what taking 1 week off does. Oh my goodness. Let's see. Hope everyone's enjoying their day. Thank you, Alice. I am. I hope you are as well. All right, so I've got a few things here before we get started with the reading. I just want to tell you, first and foremost, I have 4 new decks, more or less new. I have another one coming. I just need to actually hit the buy button. I think I just haven't done that now that I think of it. So I have 2 of the decks. I think I know 2 of them I've used in Sunday Synergy before. 2 of them I have not, and I have some really interesting thoughts about how to use them because they're different kinds of decks. But mindful messages, which we'll use today, empowering questions, I'm loving this, reflect, super loving this. I've used it a couple of times for little personal issue, like as a highlight to readings. You know what I mean? I really like it. Hey, Corey, thank you for joining. And then Cosmic Cat, some of you are familiar with because I've used it a couple of times. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put together, so for people who aren't subscribed to my newsletter, I'll put an opt-in option there and do a reading with some of these cards. And for those of you who are subscribed to my newsletter, Drops of Goodness, I'm going to come up with something for a way to offer readings with these decks because I really, really like them. So, hey, Astrology Moon Witch and Donna, hello, hello. So yeah, I'm really excited about these decks. And the one that I have coming, as soon as I purchase it, I really love. I think I say that about pretty much all of my decks. Alice, San Diego was fantastic. Thank you very much. It was days of nothing scheduled, nothing, except flights. And I wanted to go to Sunday service at Temple, and that was it. Otherwise, no schedule, no plan. It was so good. You know, I talk about self-care all the time, and I do practice self-care myself, but I know I push myself right to the back burner probably more often than not. So this was a good one. Okay, so let's get going with some messages. Sounds perfect. How fabulous. Yes, we also went each evening down to the ocean to have the sunset. So we went for an evening walk, which was lovely. And then each night, because it was right at the peak of the meteor shower, each night we were out by the pool deck and just flat watching the sky. It was so great. That's my kind of living. The rest of it I could leave behind. Okay. And good food. Let's just face that. That's a big factor. All right. So let's get some messages for this week. So for those of you who may be new, I start with messages for the week ahead. These are general messages. You take what resonates with you. And then after that, I will pull cards for anyone who has a question or a request. So Donna, I see you put something here. I will do my best to come back to that. If it gets lost in the chat at the point of opening up for questions, you may just have to re-enter that, just so I don't miss it. Hey, Lauren. Okay, so for this week's general messages, I am using Oracle of the Unicorns, another deck that I love. And yeah, so these will be messages for August 23 through August 29. And as always, you know, take what resonates with you. There isn't a real, you know, this is definitely Monday and Tuesday, and this is definitely Wednesday and Thursday. It all blends, right? So let's get a card here for Wednesday and Thursday. Oh, hello. And a card for Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Oh, dear heavens. Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Okay. Also last weekend, my goodness, the synchronicities, the spirit messages, it was like boom, 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 boom. That's what happens when you let yourself relax and just be, right? Disconnect from this machine. Okay, Monday, Tuesday, Oracle of the Unicorns. We have trust. Leap into the unknown. Have faith and move forward. Believe you will fly. So here you go, Instagram. And then YouTube. So, hey, Stace. Oh, you put insane. Yes, because it was, wasn't it? Those messages and the synchronicities. It was one after the other. It was brilliant. Okay. Monday, Tuesday. Trust. Leap into the unknown. So as you begin the week, and today I was doing a meditation, a practice meditation on something in particular, and in furtherance of developing clairs, right? Hey, Laurie. And one of the instructors was saying, you just have to trust. You just have to trust that what you hear, what you see, what you feel, what's in your gut, what's in your heart, do not second guess it. And that is so important about anything that we do. So you know yourself better than anyone. And there is a whole being inside of this physical body that wants to express itself. So depending on where you are in that practice and how much you do that and how much you've developed that, you may be super in tune with those things, or maybe not so in tune, and they sneak out and you're like, oh, what was that, right? So the beginning of the week, trust that. Trust yourself for any messages that you may be getting. If you have any instinct, if maybe you're heading down the road and you've got to park somewhere and you think, oh, I should probably take this spot right here, even though I have to walk 17 blocks, but here's the spot. If you feel or you hear something that says there's another spot, go. Do not second guess it. So this is a very simple example, but really rely upon yourself the beginning of the week. Trust that you have the ability to do what you want. Trust that you know what you want, and go with that. So Wednesday, Thursday, friendship. Seek out your soul family. Hi, everybody. Surround yourself with positive people. Hi. Spend more time socializing. We could be here till 5 o'clock. Okay, here you go, Instagram. I'm in a very giddy mood today, in case you can't tell. YouTube. So Wednesday, Thursday, friendship. You know, we've been having different kinds of relationships, haven't we? Globally, we've been having different kinds of relationships sort of imposed upon us because of conditions and what's happening, you know, around the globe, and be it a virus that we're talking about, be it some other unfortunate things that we see around the globe. It is changing how we relate to people. It is also giving us an opportunity to really step back and reflect on who are the people in our life? Who is my soul family? Who is that? What are my friendships? How valuable are they? And are they serving both of us equally? Right? So take a look at that. And it is okay to move away from a friendship. And I think a lot of people just think they have to keep adding them in, you know? We can't maintain all of that without depleting ourselves. So do an inventory, you know? Are the people that you have in your circle, are they the people who are resonating with you? Are they the people who really are your soul family? Or do you need to just sort of say, you know, love you, love everything we've done together. I'm just moving in a different direction. It's okay to do. The other thing is be open to people that maybe you don't typically consider part of your soul family. If you look at the image, you see there's I think it's a bunny on top of a horse, right? Suggesting that we're not all the same, you know? And we can be friends with people even if we have different opinions, even if we see things differently, believe in different things. It doesn't mean that we cannot have a relationship with them. We don't have to, but be open to that possibility. So Friday, Saturday, Sunday, innocence. We see this card come up. Take time to play. Nurture your inner child. Live with a childlike sense of wonder. Here you go, Instagram. So Stace, I'll look at flights again. Here you go, YouTube. So as you're coming to the end of the week, I mean, the middle of the week, we're talking about friendship, socializing, the end of the week, taking time to play. Let your inner child come out. Be giddy. I mean, I am incredibly silly today. Be silly, be giddy, be expressive, you know, be who you are out in the world and have fun with that. So as we sum up the week, we start the week trusting, and I see a nice flow here. And that is to say, trust that you know what's best for you. And if you can do that, your friendships can really blossom. You really can harness that flow with people, right? You really can attract and nurture and thrive with that soul family of yours. And it brings you to that place of innocence. It brings you to who you really are inside, and not the years of who you've become because of titles and roles and, you know, conditionings, that kind of thing, right? So it's a really nice week of self-expression, self-awareness, and self-celebration. Oh, I liked that. Okay, so that's what we have for this week. All right, this week reading is hitting home for me. Nice, Carolyn. Yeah, feel free to share how. And of course, you know, you can always send me an email. I always love to know those things. Corey, you are welcome. Okay, so this is where I will open it up to requests. And so if you have a specific question, you can put it in the chat. And if you just want a card for yourself for general guidance, you can just request a card. For those of you who are here somewhat regularly, if there's a particular deck that is of interest to you, let me know. And if I have it on the table, I'm happy to pull a card from it. Okay, Kathy, love these cards. They're really, they feel good. Like sitting here, I feel these cards and it feels really good. It feels very open. It feels like it just feels like an opening of self. It's nice. Okay, so Cecilia, I'm worried about my 16-year-old son. May I have a card for him? Yes. Self and self, it all begins within. It all begins within. Nice one, Alice. Yeah, thank you for that. Cecilia, 16-year-old son. I'm going to go to angel prayers. That worrying has me wanting to go here. Okay. So, and folks, remember, as I pull a card for anyone who has a request or a question, that card comes out with a lot of energy and message for everyone that's here. And as we look at cards as the reading goes on, we see how all the messages really start to align and weave, and it becomes so synergistic and beautiful. Okay, so let me get a card here for Cecilia for her 16-year-old son. We have a guidance card for Cecilia, her 16-year-old son. Okay. Whew. This was here too. Change and transition. Archangel Azrael. Thank you, Azrael, for leading me safely through this change. So here you go, YouTube. This is the card for Cecilia. So Cecilia, I don't know what's happening for your son, but your worry, change and transition. So Archangel Azrael, we often go to when we're talking about connecting with spirit, right? When someone perhaps has crossed over, we call in Archangel Azrael, but he's also an angel to call in for change and transition. So what is happening with your son is calling upon you to have to transition and change into another role in order to be able to work with whatever he has going on. So that perhaps the way that you typically communicate or deal with situations or anything like that, perhaps it has to come from a different place, and it's requiring you to make that shift, and that's going to need strength from you. You're going to have to dig in deep to find the best way to work with him. And so maybe calling on Archangel Azrael for that support may help you with that. Of course, it is a male image on the card. You asked about your son. Whatever is happening with your son is also a change and transition, right? So both of you are experiencing this, but you're coming at it from different places, and you both could benefit from understanding that change and transition requires us to adjust. So I send you lots of peace on that one. Okay. I do see here Corey requested a card, Donna requested a card, and Carolyn. I've been having meditation. I'm trying to read that far. Gosh darn it, why don't I remember my glasses? I've been having meditation on the friends in my life, and I have outgrown some friendships and growing into new friendships. Oh, that gave me goosebumps. I love it. And I mean, are you feeling comfortable with that, Carolyn? Like, are you feeling comfortable with the release and recognizing that it's not a bad thing, right? It's evolution. It's everybody keeps moving and changing and transition. You're welcome, Cecilia. Lots of love. Okay, so Corey, let's have a card. Hey, Boom Buster, let's have a card for Corey, guidance card, and then Donna, we have you. So Corey, a guidance card. I'm going to Cosmic Cat. This card deck is huge, by the way. So it does get a little messy sometimes. got to be honest. But let's get a guidance card for Corey. Guidance card for Corey. The guidance card for Corey. Ooh, did you see that little one? Ooh, Corey. 2. Could not be 1. There has to be 2. Okay. All right. So Corey, tolerance, sitting with it, and cautious. Beware of dogs. Okay. First of all, let me just say one thing. When I used this card deck for Sunday Synergy 3-4 weeks ago, these 2 cards were part of the Sunday Synergy. These exact 2 cards. So interesting that they're coming up again. So Corey, tolerance, sitting with it, and cautious, beware of dogs. Those are your cards. Here you go, YouTube. These are for Corey. So tolerance and sitting with it, I think goes back to that trust card for this week. It's trust your instinct. Trust the guidance you're getting. Trust the messages you're receiving. And sit with things and let them come about naturally versus trying to force something. So in tolerating, it doesn't mean that you're necessarily accepting and buying into and all of that. But what it is that you're tolerating the feeling that may be uncomfortable. So if something is sort of a little off, or something comes up and it's sort of pushing you a little bit, and it feels uncomfortable, sit with that, because it's not the thing, it's what is causing that discomfort. That's why you have to sit with it. That's why you have to tolerate it. What within you is responding to that and feeling uncomfortable? That's just the external message. Has to be dealt with in one way or another, right? But what is it within you? And then the other part of cautious, beware of dogs, I think is just saying, and coming with that is just being mindful, like, understand what people's intentions are. And going back to this friendship card, right? Like, cats and dogs can get along just fine, but understand what you have in front of you. Understand what you're dealing with, right? Be aware of it, and then make your decisions. So fitting, so true, so now. Ooh, that sounds good. Yeah. So, and again, going with the dog, dogs get a bad rap sometimes, especially in the world of cats, right? But things may look one way, such as a dog, and really it's something else. So just be aware of how things are coming to you. That's what I would say. You're very welcome. Okay. I do know Donna requested a card here. Boo and Buster, and then Carolyn. I'm very comfortable with the change. It's a truly wonderful blessing for me. That is so beautiful, Carolyn. Thank you for sharing that. That's really beautiful. It's amazing when you make space, what can happen, right? Okay, Jada, is someone new or old going to be interested in me? Okay, so let's come back to Donna first, Boo and Buster, and then over here to Jada. So Donna, you just wanted a general card, right? And it is Oracle of the Fairies for you, for sure. Okay, let's have a card here for Donna, for general guidance for Donna. Oh, it's sticking out right there, Donna. Okay, so here's a general card for Donna. Stargazing. Oh. When you gaze at the stars, you give yourself fairy focus. Your intuition will flow more freely and reveal what you need to know about your situation. Here you go, Instagram and Donna. And then here you go, YouTube. So we were talking about intuition. We were talking about trusting ourselves, trusting the messages. We were talking about just here with Corey, sitting with it and tolerating, because that's where you're going to find the information you need. And this is really saying the same thing. You know, your intuition will flow more freely and reveal what you need to know about your situation if you take the pause, if you stare at the stars, whether it's stars or flowers or sit with your eyes closed, whatever it is. When you take the pause and you go within and you sit, then the message comes. So whatever you have, Donna, you have the answer, and the answer is going to come to you. And be open. Again, it goes back to that trust. Be open to all of the messages you get. So they can be super subtle, right? It's not like someone's going to scream, "Hey, Donna," right? It can just be really subtle. So you can just be sitting and you will get a feeling. You will hear like, oh, that's what I'm supposed to do. Maybe you'll see, if you have your eyes closed, maybe you'll see an image. Look into that. Don't discount that. Okay. All right. Boo and Buster wanted a card, and then over here to Jada. So Boo and Buster, a card for the week. Yes, ma'am. Okay, let's get you mindful messages. Mindful messages for Boo and Buster. Oh, you know what? It just changed. I'm going to the Reflect deck. This is really interesting. First of all, they're square cards, so they make shuffling a little interesting. But let's have a card here for Boo and Buster. A card for the week. A card, it's right there for Boo and Buster. So these are questions on these cards. So something to consider as you go through the week. Oh, am I treating people the way I want to be treated? Here you go, YouTube. So let me just say, if anyone's not aware, I have been posting YouTube Shorts, which is sort of like YouTube's version of Reels, right, on Instagram. So I've been posting those. So if you ever want to just pop in and get a card, check my YouTube channel to see if I've put a post in there. I'm trying to post them. It's not quite coming out daily, but definitely fairly regularly. They're short. That's why they call them shorts. They're short 15-second videos. This was one of them the other day. So Boo and Buster, for the week, am I treating people the way I want to be treated? Goes back to friendship. I think it is evaluating and making shifts that you need to make, making changes. You know, Cecilia's card, change and transition. So paying attention to that and seeing how things are going both ways. And stop and ask yourself the question, if something comes up that maybe is uncomfortable or sort of went a little sideways, maybe stop and ask the question, am I treating people the way I want to be treated? Yeah. Okay. All right. Coming over here to Jada. Hello, ma'am. Okay, Jada. Is someone new or old gonna be interested in me? I don't know, because I don't know what they want to do. But let's get you some angel answers and see what comes out of that. Okay. Girl in a frenzy. Thank you for these messages. Always grateful for your guidance. May I have a card regarding change? Yes. You're welcome, Boom Buster. You get some really interesting cards. I would love to know how, after Sunday Synergy, how you resonate with the cards, or if you incorporate them or you don't. But I do remember cards that come up for you. Maybe not specifically. I just remember that they are very interesting. So I hope you like that one, because I really wanted to use that deck for you. Okay. Ms. Sonali, hello. Mita. Sonali Mita. Okay, let's get a card here for Jada. Is someone old or new going to be interested in me? We have a card for Jada. Whoa. No need to worry, Jada. No need to worry. Here you go. Instagram. So the message here is the question of, is someone old or new? The message is, don't worry about that. Don't worry about that. Worry about you, like trusting yourself, surrounding yourself with your soul family, and being your authentic self. Then, whether it's someone old or new, it's not going to matter, because there's just going to be a nice connection. There'll be a nice resonance. It will make sense. So no thinking about old or new. Think about you, and you will attract those who are meant to be part of your family. That's what I got here. That's pretty cool. Yeah, I love these cards. Okay. Cecilia, I do. Oh, are you answering the question of when you take the cards and how does it work for you? Is that what you're answering? I think it is. That makes me feel good. Okay, let's get, Alice is looking for a card for change. And then Kathy, you're welcome, Jada. All of these cards have been amazing and relatable for all things going on thus far. So wonderful. May I please have a general card for the week? Yes. Okay, so Alice regarding change, and then Kathy, general card. Alice for change. Alice for change. Alice, I'm between Whispers of Lord Ganesha and Mindful Messages. It's Whispers of Lord Ganesha. Okay. Let's have a card for Alice for change. Also a large deck. You're always spot on. Oh, thanks for saying that. Right on. You know, I appreciate that comment very much. It's good feedback for me, right, on my readings. But I also want to remind everyone that it's the energy you bring into readings too, and that you come in, and that's why I asked that question, Boom Buster. You come in open and receptive and honest. And when you come in with that energy, that's what I pick up on. That's what the cards resonate with, right? And that's why the messages flow so beautifully. So I appreciate that. Okay, a card for Alice for change. Card for Alice for change. For some reason, I'm getting my sister at Costco. She said she's at Costco, but for some reason that's popping into my head, and I don't know why. Okay, I'm going to Mindful Messages, Alice. Oh, yes, my thoughts too. You thought of Whispers from Lord Ganesha, huh? Yeah, I thought so too, but mindful messages right out there. Okay. This is the card that has super small print because it's a super small card. Oh, good glory. And it's in this like super light color. Okay. Tune in. Tune in while I try to read this very fine print. Today, before doing what I normally do, I will take a moment to slow down, to place my hands on my heart, at my heart space, and take a few deep breaths. I will ask myself what I truly want, and I will honor however I am feeling. Alice, this is so nice. No wonder that card didn't come out. This needed to come out. I'm showing it to you not because there's a chance that you can even read the print on this card, but the image of holding a heart space. So in terms of a message for change, it is tuning in. You use the same word, going within, right? And the trust card showing up again and sitting with it. You know, Corey's card, stargazing, Donna's card, just stepping back, right? And listening to the message. Jada's card, no need to worry. And so in terms of change, I think it's tuning in. It asks the question here, place my hands on my heart space and take a few breaths. I will ask myself what I truly want, and I will honor however I am feeling. So that is the guidance to really do that. And no need to worry. Change is hard. You know, Cecilia's card, change and transition, Archangel Azrael. We can pull all of this together, right? Work with Archangel Azrael on working through the change. I'm not suggesting change is easy, right? It requires a lot from us, emotionally, physically, mentally, relationally. But we can do it. Just got to call in your tribe. Okay, let's get to Kathy. You're welcome. Okay, Kathy, a general card for the week. So all of the cards have been resonating. Cards are, let's see if whispers from Lord Ganesha are for you, Kathy. Right? All right. Whispers from Lord Ganesha for Kathy. Give me the general card for Kathy this week. That was much easier than Alice's shuffle. Beginnings. Here you go, Instagram. Beginnings. So lots to say about this card. So first and foremost, beginnings. It's card number 1. So 1 is the spark. 1 is the initiation. 1 is the root where everything takes off, right? Lord Ganesha, as we know, is where we go when we are beginning something new, right? Where if we need to remove obstacles, we go to Lord Ganesha. This is what he does, and it helps us remove that so we can move forward and begin. So you have, just knowing some things, you have a lot in the works, right? There's a little bit of this, there's a little bit of this, there's reconnecting going on that we talked about. And so that beginning piece, coming back to the beginning, going back to the friendship, going back to the trust, like going back to yourself and the innocence, coming back to the beginning. So keep coming back. keep coming back. So even though we're experts in our field, even though we are, taking classes and we've passed the 101 stage, we've had this experience before, we always can learn from coming back to the beginning. There's always something else in there. So I teach dance on the side, and I've been dancing for a long time. And I will take beginning classes, and people will say to me, why are you taking a beginning class? You don't belong here. Why are you taking this class? And because I can always learn from a different teacher. There's always something in there that I can learn from, do differently, try. Maybe I couldn't incorporate everything at the beginning, right? Maybe I could only do this thing this way because I needed to learn, and I couldn't learn everything at once. So coming back to that beginning is where I can say, oh, now I can take this little piece in here that I just couldn't incorporate before. I couldn't understand. I couldn't, bring in and make use of. So going back to beginnings, always. Okay. Stacy, all I can say is, wow. Yeah. As I sit here and look at Lord Ganesha hanging that I have here that I picked up last weekend, that's a bell and has Rudraksha and yeah, it's beautiful. Okay. OMG, yes, all of the moving pieces. Yeah. All of the moving pieces. And so the other hit too is there is so many moving pieces. There are so many. Let me get my grammar correct. There are so many moving pieces that sometimes the best way to get a good grasp on what each one of those things is to come back to the beginning and see it with those fresh eyes and not with the jaded eyes, right? Not with the experienced eyes, but understand all of these things. Let me come back and look at it from scratch. What do you need? What don't you need? What did you think you needed? But now actually, when you look at it with fresh new eyes, you realize, no, yeah, I don't need that. And you're creating space for something new. Juicy. Okay. All right. Did anyone else have a question? Quickly reviewing the cards for anyone who wasn't here at the beginning. The cards, general messages for the week. As we start the week, Monday, Tuesday, trust. Trust in yourself. Trust in all of the messages you're getting. I feel like that is so important this week, is that this week is going to be about us transforming. And so we've got to be able to trust ourselves. We have to believe in ourselves, and we have to trust ourselves. And then as we move into the middle of the week, Wednesday, Thursday, it's friendship. And it's being open to people and relationships that perhaps you weren't open to before. You didn't have the space for, you didn't have the capacity to understand. But be open to that. And also, as Carolyn was saying, moving away from some friendships, not because it is a bad thing, but because, like everything else, we change, we transition, we grow, we evolve. And people come into our lives for certain periods, they come in for certain reasons, and it's really important to understand that, to respect it, be grateful for that, but be gracious to let it go when it's time. And at the end of the week, innocence, taking time to play, but playing from you, like your most fun self, without any restrictions, without any inhibitions. Have fun. Have fun. Okay. Cecilia, your reading resonates and I do incorporate it. Thank you. Thanks so much, Cecilia. I appreciate that feedback also. Thank you. Yeah. Take what works, right? Right on. Fresh eyes. Someone put a question in here. Oh, it looks like there was a Q&A in there. Okay. All right. If no one else has a question, then we are going to wrap up today's Sunday Synergy. Beautiful cards. Thank you, everybody, for bringing yourselves here. If you would, while you're here, would you hit a like button? If you liked it and enjoyed it today, I would appreciate that. If you have a moment to comment, if you would comment, I really would appreciate that. And feel free to share, of course. Share is really good too. But make sure if you aren't subscribed to YouTube, subscribe to my YouTube channel or go in and find me and check out the shorts. I've been having fun doing those. I like it. It's just a quick little buzz of a card. So check those out. And you can look at anyone, you know, you don't have to say, well, what was the most recent one? That must be the one. It's all whichever one you're drawn to. So really fun. Bye, Alice. Have a great week. You are welcome. Bye, Stacy. Thank you for joining. Laurie, you are welcome. All right, everyone. Adios. Until next week. We will see you then. All right. Big love. Thank you. Thank you. And see you next time. Bye. Bye, everybody.